that band that I texted you about earlier, the Ratchets.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they're fucking good. I didn't even realize, like,
I remember liking them actually. After we started
they,
talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, I used to like that band.
no, but they put a record out on that label that presses all the vinyl.
What, Pirates
The
Press?
Pirates Press, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Recently,
Pirates Press is the shit, man.
I didn't know they
All
were a
right.
label too, but anyway, we can
Yeah,
talk
they're
about
labeled in like a distro store. They make records for other people. It's crazy.
it. Legit band, good stuff.
All right, so sometime in the year 2000, we get Leatherface's, I think, like 7th studio album called Horsebox.
Yeah,
I think Horsebox and Cherry Knoll were the first 2 Leatherface albums that I owned, and I got them at a used record store in Austin. And I think I played Horsebox first, and I liked it okay. And then I went back and I played Cherry Knoll, and I didn't like it, at least back then.
yeah.
And for a lot of years, I didn't really go back to Leatherface. I had a shirt. I had a couple of their albums. I talked about them. I don't think I ever got to see them play or anything like that, but my friends all liked them a lot, and I just kind of was like, yeah, they're okay. And then, like, right before I started doing the channel, maybe it was like 3-4 years ago, like, I suddenly got really big into them. And then whenever I found out you liked them, I was like really psyched when I was like, oh, this is like one of your favorites. I was like, hell yeah, nobody I know likes Leatherface anymore. Like, I'm just not around the same people, you know? And this is just one of those bands that when it came back around, I am obsessed with this band. I listen to them all the time. Now, I don't know as much as you do. I don't know song titles and stuff like that, but I've got like 6 or 7 of their records.
Yeah.
I listen to them all the time, dude. The one with the mushrooms on it is the one that I don't have, or I do now, but I haven't put a lot of time into it yet. So I'm going to be listening to that one over the next couple of weeks. But Horsebox is a very interesting album, man. What do you know about this record? What's up, guys? So we just partnered up with Dead and Buried Inc. out of LA. So if you have a band or a small business, maybe an event coming up, and you need merch, hit these dudes up. There's a link in the description. If you mention that you got there via the Punk Rock Review, you'll get 10% off of your first order. But it's super high quality screen printing, embroidery. They do shirts, hats, hoodies, skateboards, bags, whatever you want printed, they can handle it, all right? They're also a small business, and they're part of the punk rock community. They're my friends. So this is a partnership that's very important to me. If you need merch, hit these dudes up. Check them out. You won't be disappointed, all right? Back to the video.
Wow. Well, we're talking about my favorite band now. So
let's go. Let's go.
I still have yet to get through that book, by the way. The Christopher
I haven't
Nolan
either.
One. I've.
I'm like barely even going in it. I need. You know what? I need to prioritize that.
Same. Let's just get through the book. That way, we'll have more to talk about.
Yes.
Too with the band. Yeah, Days and Days. The guy from Fucked Up is the guy that wrote the book.
Isn't that cool? When I found that out, I was like shocked, and I was like, "Heck yeah, dude!"
So Horsebox. It came out in 2000. So just to give just a very brief history of Leatherface. Leatherface was formed in 1988. The same year as actually 15.
Isn't that weird?
In the UK, well, yeah, it's just kind of coincidental. In the UK, by Newcastle, in a town called Sunderland, like in northern England, like almost to Scotland.
That's crazy.
And they formed in '88. Put out Cherry Knoll. They're described as like a mix between Motorhead and Husker Du. A lot. That's the like going kind of dialogue about how people talk about them. Yeah, that's a common comparison that people make.
You know, dude, I don't even know that that's weird or wrong. I'd never even considered that, but that made a lot of sense when you said that.
They're their own thing. Leatherface is a power.
That's how I would put it.
They're a powerhouse of a fucking band. They have an energy about them that no one can touch, in my opinion, or has to this day. Mush is a perfect record. Like
that's the one with the mushrooms.
With the mushrooms on it, yeah. It's just the like seething, visceral quality of that record is like fucking art in its purest form. And they're a band that's got a lot of mystique surrounding them too. They didn't really do a lot of interviews. They weren't about the fame and the publicity at all.
I know that.
They were. You try to find information about them online. You don't find much. Nothing.
Dude.
Frankie Stubbs doesn't talk much about anything.
Well, that's why I was reading this book, is because I don't know much about them, and I couldn't find much info on them, and I it's just one of these things. Like, I think that the fact that they don't have a lot of info makes me want to know more.
Right.
It's
That's
a
big part of the
really
film.
good PR move without having to do much because you don't have to worry about putting your foot in your mouth because you're not doing any talking. And it
I
makes
just
people.
think they did it because they love to write albums and play music. They're
That
very
is
pure.
incredibly obvious. Well, no, I'm saying like no. I mean like I'm agreeing. I'm saying like that's obvious by their work that they just did it for that reason. Like that sounded really stupid, didn't it?
No,
I'm
it's
like,
okay.
that's obvious.
No, it's okay.
But like,
it is also very obvious. Yeah,
but like,
that's kind of a big reason why you can't find much with them online. You know, they
yeah,
never were one for the publicity or the festivals. Really, they never really toured outside of Europe.
Right. Their reasoning behind doing the things that they did was different than somebody else, maybe. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good or a bad thing. It's just is what it is.
It is what it is.
I don't care if you make music to be famous, as long as you're still doing it like for you. Like, you know, as long as you don't change, do what you're doing, man. But like, I don't know. Maybe I do mind that actually. It's kind of stupid.
They denied the Warped Tour a bunch of times too. They're like, "Yeah, this isn't for us. We're not going to do the fucking Warped Tour."
While I wish they had played the Warped Tour, because I probably could have seen them if they had. I totally understand why they wouldn't.
Me too.
This band does not feel like a Warped Tour band.
No, I don't think they felt like they'd fit in with that whole thing, and they just were kind of true to themselves.
Good for them.
No, good for them. But again, this band kind of has like a mystique surrounding them. So they broke up in 1993, 94.
Okay.
And they lost their guitar player, who came back on their final record, Dickie Hammond.
Okay.
Dickie Hammond passed away a few years ago. And,
yeah, I knew that.
In fact, everyone in the band is pretty much dead except Frankie at this point. But
oh man, I always thought he was the first one to win.
No, Frankie's the front man. He's still alive.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Cool, good for him, man.
But everyone that played on Mush is dead except Frankie.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does. The guitar player that quit was also in the Angelic Upstarts for a while too.
Oh, no shit, huh?
Yeah. Dickie Hammond played in Angelic Upstarts.
Oh, yeah. I knew that name. That's why you said that name, and I was like, that's a familiar name.
Yeah, he's
Angelic Upstarts.
Great guitar player. Fucking great guitar player. So Leatherface broke up in 1993. They had recorded an album that came out in 1994 called The Last that was released after the fact, and they broke up. And then Frankie Stubbs was in a couple of side projects, did some solo stuff by himself. One of his side projects was called Jesse. Jesse was named after Elvis's stillborn little brother.
Oh,
I guess he had a stillborn brother named Jesse.
Like Elvis Presley?
Elvis Presley, correct.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Frankie had this weird kind of fascination with Elvis for whatever reason.
Huh.
He covers some of his music acoustically.
Interesting.
Too. Yeah. So Jesse, I'm getting to Horsebox, by the way. There's a whole like kind of
I'm learning here. That's cool.
So Jesse in 1997 was Frankie, this guy Leighton Evans, Evo, who played guitar on Horsebox, right? So by the time 1998, 99 came around, Hot Water Music, who fucking loved Leatherface, they don't even exist anymore. Leatherface was pretty much done, and Frankie was just chilling in the UK doing his little side gigs or whatever with his bands, you know, recording bands because he was an engineer too, like a producer. Hot Water Music wanted him to come to the States. At the time, they were on that label, Youth Brigade's label.
BYO?
Yeah, BYO Records, correct.
Yeah.
And Hot Water's like, dude, come over here. We'll tour with you. We'll take you all over the fucking place. Just come over here. We'll get you on the label, BYO. Frankie then came over, and he talked to the Sean Stern from the label BYO Records, and they agreed to do a split with Hot Water Music in 1999. That predated Horsebox, and that's the Hot Water Music split with them.
Yeah, BYO Split Series Volume like 3 or 4 or something.
That was the first one.
That was the first one.
Hot Water Music and
which one is the third one? Is that the One Man Army?
Alkaline Trio, One Man Army, I think.
Okay, that's why I know that one so well.
So then they agreed to do these weird split series to.
I love them, dude.
So they can only write like a handful of songs and then get out there, and then that's kind of what got Leatherface back in the door in the U.S. to get them on tour with Hot Water, and then Hot Water and Leatherface did extensive touring all over the U.S. and Canada and shit like that. So they were here for like a couple of months, I think. Yeah. And during that time period, and then they recorded Horsebox.
So with Leatherface, I got about 10 or 15 more minutes. I told my wife I'd be done with it around 10:30. So
that's fine.
let's talk real quick about the production of these albums, or this album specifically. Like, it's a thing where his voice is always buried in the mix. I think that's like a style he really liked a lot. Is that something that he kind of came up with, or was that popular with somebody else before Leatherface, or what?
I don't.
I don't know any other band I've ever heard where their mix is like this.
Leatherface has a very unique sound. There isn't another band that sounds like this band at all in general, or will ever sound like this band.
I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think there's bands that have different mixes, but their music sounds a lot alike. Like, I would venture to say that Hot Water Music sounds a lot like Leatherface. Their production is just different.
I think what I mean by that is that, like, they have a very sonic quality about them. Like, they focus on the guitars a lot. They're driving. Right. So the guitars drive a lot of the music. Even on Mush, it's just like they love that wall of sound shit. So I think Frankie did that on purpose because he loves Husker Du. Husker Du is another band that the vocals are really fucking buried in the mix a lot, and it's kind of that wall of sound.
They are. I think Leatherfaces are far more muted. It sounds like he's singing through a plastic bag or something, man.
On this record, okay, so check it out. Horsebox is a unique record because the production on this album is either loved or hated. People hate.
I used to hate it, but I love it now.
Right, exactly, because it's very sonically fucking interesting. It's so heavy on the guitars, and it's got this kind of wall of sound going on with it. It's just like so much gain and distortion on the guitars, and behind him you can hear Frankie going kind of like saying what he's saying, singing, But the vocals almost come second to, like, the vocals are almost like a guitar, like a third guitar or something. It's the real crux of this album and sonically is the guitar work and the way he's playing the drums and it's just driving the entire album. It's really just a driving.
Yeah, work. I think we see it a little bit different, but I don't think you're wrong necessarily either. I used to hate the vocals on this because I thought it was by accident. Or I thought they just didn't do a good job.
Yeah.
But, obviously the older I get, the more I learn about it, the more I like it anyways. But, yeah, man, I mean, the album is fantastic. The first couple of songs on it are so fucking good. It kind of irritates me, honestly, because I'm like, dude, it makes me want to spend more time with the album.
Yeah.
But Sour Grapes is like such a banger of an opening track. And, dude, I'm looking at Spotify. It blows my mind that song only has 46,000 streams. That is crazy to me, dude. I feel like this album should have way more than that. I mean, also, Watching You Sleep is probably my favorite song on here outside of True Colors, but that's not really their song. So
City of Opera cover. Interesting.
Yeah, well, it's Bruce Springsteen wrote it.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a Bruce Springsteen penned song. Like, when I heard this the first time, I thought, man, this sure sounds like Bruce Springsteen. And then I was like, wait a minute, is that True Colors? I was like, son of a bitch, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I you know what, dude? I will go ahead and credit Bruce Springsteen with my fandom of Leatherface, because when I first heard this, I didn't really care for it much until I heard the True Colors cover, and I was like, wait a minute. If they're covering True Colors, I need to hop back in here real quick and see what the deal is with this band. And I gave them another chance because of it. Now, like I said, I didn't like Cherry Knoll much at all, but I liked this album a little bit when I first heard it, but I didn't love it. And when I heard True Colors, I actually kept it. I was like, all right, because back then, I would buy, sell, trade CDs and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And if I didn't like something, I didn't hold on to it. I traded it in so I get something else. But this album stuck around for a while.
So you didn't like Cherry Knoll? Well, you still don't like Cherry Knoll?
I haven't heard it in a while. I need to re-listen to that one. I've got a copy on CD. I'll put it on. I'll play it tomorrow. See it. I can't remember what I thought about it. I just remember not liking it much, and I don't remember why. I think I just had a problem with his vocals back then. But, like, dude, my tastes have so obviously changed a lot in the last 15, 20 years. Like, I didn't know that my taste had changed this much. If you had told me I was going to listen to early Jawbreaker, I'd have been like, you're out of your fucking mind. I loved that album. Like, I really enjoyed it, dude. It was really, really good.
I'm glad you do. Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. This record, I don't know. It's just
Where does it rank? Where does it rank amongst your Leatherbox? Leatherbox. Excuse me. I'm so tired, dude. Leatherface stuff. Where's Horsebox rank amongst Leatherface albums for you?
My
Leatherface.
My second favorite record to Mush.
Okay, awesome.
Mush is their best record. It just is.
Is it like thought of as their best record by other people, or is it just your favorite? Okay,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like you need to listen to that album.
I'm excited to listen to that one tomorrow. Then
that one's gonna be, yeah. That one.
Leatherface is responsible for an awful lot of music I love. I think.
Yeah, they are.
Like I think that orgcore stuff is like a direct derivative of Leatherface.
Yeah,
at least all the stuff that I like, because all the stuff I like is post 2000, post 2005.
A lot of the fest bands,
Yeah,
a lot of the
no idea
stuff.
Yeah, no idea. I really like, and I think that might be why I ultimately went back and listened to Leatherface again, is because I started liking bands that were like a little crisper and cleaner. And it's like, okay, well, if you like that, you can get back to liking this. It's just like if you like, Green Day's Dookie, you can ultimately get to where you're listening to the Broadways, the Lawrence Arms, and probably even Leatherface, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of thing. If you like the more polished version, just be a little patient, give it some more time. You'll get back to the grittier stuff. At least in my experiences, that's what music fans typically do. We'll go deeper and deeper and deeper into these genres, bands, sounds, albums, whatever, versus somebody that's a surface level listener,
right?
And they'll typically just like what's available, which is okay too, man. I'm through judging people for shit like that. You like pop music on the radio, dude? Cool, man. I don't give a shit. As long as you're not being a terrible person, I don't care.
The thing with bands like this, though, is that there's such a cult kind of following because they're not as easily accessible as maybe some other music is. If you talk to someone like Rusty who comes to the channel, and anytime someone has like a yelly, like gravelly voice, he's like, I don't like this. And
every time, bro, I don't like the vocals. I'm like, chill, bro, let them live.
Right, but if someone's like, but some bands are just more accessible than others, and I think Frankie's voice isn't the easiest point of entry for a lot of people.
No, it's not. I agree with that, dude. Dude, Rusty was cool, man. I hope that dude comes around.
I'm not talking shit on Rusty. I'm just saying.
No. It was just when you mentioned him, I was like, man, I had fun talking to him today, dude. And I like that he likes Rancid so much. But I'll be honest, dude, and this is no shit talking, but Rusty is not. There's different like rungs on the punk rock ladder, and I don't think he has any interest in climbing up to where you and I hang out. And I think I'm probably a little deeper. I'm probably on a separate ladder than you, even. Like we're not even on the same ladder. We're on the same height, probably different ladders, man. Like, so, some people like this stuff. Some people don't want to, don't care. They're like, oh, no, I like this part of punk right here. I don't need to go into I don't need to listen to Crass. And it's like, hey, then don't, And I hate to even admit this, but I listened to Crass the other day and didn't want to blow my brains out. It fucking shocked me.
You might like some of Crass's music.
Eventually. I like Rudimentary Peni. Are they related to Crass in any way?
I don't know what the details are about that relationship, but they're in the
family,
the camp, yeah.
Okay, so then that's probably my entry point to that. I used to really hate Crass a long time ago. What are y'all doing to me, man? Y'all are making all these bands that I used to hate become bands that I'm like, oh, they're all right, I like them, and then all of a sudden I got fucking tapes and CDs and shit.
Yeah, that's the whole point of exposing yourself to stuff.
Dude, I'm so fortunate to even be in punk at this age. I'm figuring that out, dude. That I shouldn't even be here, man. I was stubborn enough to just stick around because I didn't like any of the right stuff. I didn't get showed any of it at a young enough age. Like I was talking to somebody and they were like, man, when I was 10 years old, it might have been you. Was I talking to you about that? Or so was it somebody on the chat? When they were young, they were listening to all this punk stuff and they were like 10. And I was like, how are you listening to stuff at 8 years old? How'd you find never mind the Bollocks at 8 and 9 years old and then understand that was something that you were going to love? Like I find that really hard to believe, man. When I was 8 or 9, I just listened to what was around. I didn't know what music, I knew I liked music, but I didn't know that there was different kinds and this and that. But I had such a weird journey to get here, man. I just feel grateful every day. It's kind of corny, but it's so true.
I mean, you love it. It's your lifer. You're in now.
I do love it, man. I do love it. It's funny. I think that. I think a sign of I often get like this feeling like I don't belong, and I think that that's a good thing. Is what was what I wanted to say. Like I think that it'll keep somebody like me humble because I don't get a big head about stuff, but I get so psyched on things and I talk about it, and I think that could come off as a certain way. Anyways, I don't know. I'm really fucking tired still, so I'm gonna get out of here, man.
No, don't worry about it.
I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look up in the next couple of days and find some more records for us to talk about, and I'll shoot you a text and tell you what we're gonna hear.
Yeah.
What we're gonna cover. Excuse me.
Anytime.
But I'm gonna go try to recover. I need to get some real sleep tonight.
You do need some real sleep. Have you eaten yet? You got to eat some food too.
I ate something earlier before I got home, so I'm okay on food right now. I need like a real good 8-9 hours of sleep, which I haven't had in a while. So, but
what are you gonna watch?
thank you. I don't know yet, man. I'm gonna go do nothing. My eyelids, bro. I'm gonna go there and just, I'm not gonna even make it through the movie.
Just go to sleep. Just go to
yeah, dude. So, thank you everybody for hanging out, man. This was a fun time talking about two really interesting albums, man. Two that are, I would say, pretty important, honestly. The 15 stuff was so heavy, dude. It put me in a funk, man. I understand the importance of that band, but it is not an everyday listen, bro. You've got to be able to be ready. You got to be. I think that that's one of those bands that when you're having a really bad day could probably help you a lot. Yeah, at least I tend to be uplifted when I hear stuff from musicians that are like it's hard to hear. I imagine there's other people that don't want to hear that stuff, but for me, when I'm having a terrible day and I want to hear about somebody else having a terrible day, then I can go, okay, we can join together and be like part of this together, man. So. Hell yeah, man. Nitty, thank you for your time, bro. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys.
All right, bro. Later, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.